Hola y bienvenidos. Welcome Year 6s into Year 7s. This is your taster session for Spanish. So I'll introduce myself and then we will get going with the session and I hope you enjoy it. So my name is Mrs. Frost. I'm one of the teachers at Wootton Park School that teaches Spanish. There's three of us at the moment, Mr. Kilcoyne, who's head of department, Miss Fernandez and myself, Mrs. Frost. So you will see me today for the session. If you need to pause it at any point, please pause it. There will be specific times when I'll tell you to pause it. So hopefully you can find it fun and have a bit of a taste of a Spanish lesson. Obviously, it's a bit different and being separate, but hopefully you'll still get the idea of how it might work. So good luck and I hope you enjoy it. So hola y bienvenidos a la clase. Me llamo señora Frost y vivo en Northampton con mi familia. Me gusta mucho español y me encanta el chocolate. Soy profesora de español y francés. Now, hopefully in this little introduction, you can see at least, I would say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, maybe 9 words that you can have a guess at what they might mean in English. Those words I think should be hola, which I think you should know, la clase, Northampton obviously you should know, familia, español, chocolate, profesora, and then again español y francés. So clase is obviously going to be class, so if you've got that, well done. Familia is going to be family. Español is Spanish. Chocolate is chocolate. Profesora looks like a professor, so we're talking about a teacher. And then español y francés, Spanish and French. So your starter activity, as I said, if you need to pause this, please do so. Okay, don't be afraid to pause it and have a look. Maybe use wordreference.com to have a look as well. So, ¿cómo se dice en inglés? How do you say in English? So, mi profesor es simpático, inteligente, estricto, raro, gracioso, tonto, amable, antipático, servicial, responsable, generoso, curioso y interesante. So see if you can, give yourself a pause, see if you can write down and see what these words are. I think that some of them are going to be quite easy to guess. Some of them you might need to think of your English links, and some of them I don't think you'll guess. It is just from the look of it, I mean, so give it a go. There is an extension question on there as well. What do you think happens for a male, so somebody that is a male teacher, or a female teacher? So pause, and then I can go through the answers. So play when you want to hear the answers. So simpático is kind or nice. Inteligente is intelligent. Estricto is strict. Raro is weird. Gracioso is funny. Tonto, which I don't think you'll get from the look of it, is silly or stupid. Amable is friendly. Antipático is unpleasant or unkind. Servicial is helpful. Responsable is responsible. Generoso is generous. Curioso is curious. And interesante is interesting. So hopefully, just on that first little slide, you'll realise that actually, even though you don't know Spanish, there are lots of words that look quite similar, okay? And what we really promote in languages, especially at secondary school, is having a guess and not being afraid to get it wrong. You are most likely going to get things wrong, like you will in all your subjects, okay? But it's really important that you are brave and you give it a go. So how many do you think you got out of those? I'm going to make a guess that I think you would have got at least 1, 2, 3, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm going to say about 7, 7. Your extension. What do you think happens if it's male or female? So if you look at some of these adjectives, you'll see that they end in an O. That is for a male person. So simpático, estricto, raro. If it's a female, it would change to an A. Simpática, graciosa, antipática, generosa, tonta. So that's the difference between a male and a female. Good stuff so far. Well done. Muy bien. So vamos a continuar los objetivos. So we're going to have a talk about different teachers. Now, I really like starting off with something slightly different because I don't always know who's done Spanish in primary school or any language. So I think for the first transition session, I think teachers is a really nice one. Okay, so this is what we're going to have a look at today. Different teachers, recalling the basic Spanish vocabulary, but also to have fun. We're going to have a look at making guesses at words, which we've just started to do, and then we're going to see if we can describe different teachers and then really push to see if we can expand with an opinion. So this is your opportunity to stop, pause, restart and practice your Spanish speaking. So I'm going to read these aloud and I want you to hear in your best Spanish accent what you think they sound like. So, simpático, simpático, estricto, estricto, tonto, tonto, amable, amable, curioso, curioso, servicial, servicial, inteligente, inteligente, raro, raro, gracioso, gracioso, generoso, generoso, antipático, antipático, interesante, interesante. So that ch sound, you've got to imagine you've got a bit of phlegm stuck at the back of your throat. This is most likely where you're going to spit all over the place, but that's absolutely fine. Okay, so what I want to see is that you've got that ch sound. So it's a ch. Let me hear you say ch, and it's that ch sound, generoso. Now your turn. Practice makes perfect. So let's continue and let's have a look. This time, you've not got the words. See if you can remember any of them. Can you remember the tonto? Where's the tonto? Generoso. Where was the generoso? Inteligente. Simpático. Responsable. Amable. Raro. So let's have a quick through. Remember, practice makes perfect, and you will find a lot of the times in the sessions we go over them again and again and again. So simpático. Remember, what if it was a lady like this picture? What would it be? It would be simpática. Inteligente. Estricto. Again, for a lady, it would be estricta. Tonto. Raro. Gracioso. Generoso, amable, curioso, servicial, antipático, responsable, interesante. So a little quick mini stop. We like to do these. We've got a range of different tasks. It might be a true or false. It might be a mini vocab test. It might be some work with the mini whiteboards. Okay, so have a pause and tell me what you think the answers are. 1, estricto. 2, dos, responsable. 3, raro. 4, simpático. 5, gracioso. 6, servicial. 7, amable. And 8, tonto. So we do a lot of peer assessment and self-assessment in Spanish and in languages and in secondary school. So this is the time where you'd grab your green pen and you might peer assess or you might self-assess. So we're going to go for a self-assess here. So, estricto is strict. Responsable, responsible. Raro, weird. Simpático. Now be careful, it looks like sympathetic. Remember, it's nice or kind. Número 5, gracioso is funny. Servicial, helpful. Amable, friendly. And tonto, silly. So we like to practice. Practice makes perfect. And that is my key word that I always go on about and I always nag in my lessons. Push, 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 practice, 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 little and often. And I like to do this, and we like to do this in MFL through games. So these are all the pictures. I'm going to count down. 3, 2, 1. Which ones are missing? Which ones are missing? So the answer, the ones that are missing, was tonto, inteligente, responsable, y curioso. Okay. Next one then. 3, 2, 1. Okay. Which ones are missing this time? How many of you can remember? It was raro, gracioso, generoso, and antipático. Let's go again. 3, 2, 1. Ooh, a bit harder this time. You are right. It was estricto, amable, servicial, y responsable. So there's lots of different games that we can play. We play noughts and crosses, we play splat, but this is a little bit of a taster. It's hard doing it virtually, but hopefully you get the idea that we like to practice for you to say the words. So another one, verdadero o falso. Verdadero y falso is literally true or false. Verdadero o falso. Okay, so this is your opportunity. We can do this as a class. We can do this individually. But let's see if you can get them right. Verdadero o falso. Inteligente significa intelligent. Verdadero o falso. Raro significa rare. Verdadero o falso. Curioso significa strict. Verdadero o falso. And simpática significa sympathetic. Verdadero o falso. So the first one, verdadero, true. The second one, falso, false. Curioso, falso, false. And simpática, falso, false. So raro, remember, means weird. Curioso means curious. And simpática means nice or kind. So this is your chance now to meet a few other teachers. So I've chosen 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 profesores. Mrs. Walker, Miss Walker, Mrs. Frost, Mr. Rossa, Mrs. Steer, Mr. Cowdell, Mrs. Wild, and Mr. Cooper. Okay, so this is your opportunity now to have a look and see if we can put some sentences together. So my example of Miss Walker is Señorita Walker es amable y inteligente. So Mrs. Walker is kind, is friendly and intelligent. So now let's see if you can describe Mrs. Frost. Señora Frost es, then what would you put in that gap? What about Mr. Rossa? Señor Rossa es. What about Mrs. Steer? Señora Steer es. Mr. Cowdell. Señor Cowdell es. Mrs. Wild. Señora Wild es. And then Mr. Cooper. Señor Cooper es. So going back to the vocabulary that we have seen, we've had a look at estricto, tonto, raro, antipático, responsable, curioso, amable, generoso. So I'm going to do my example and I'm going to choose Mr. Cowdell, Señor Cowdell. Señor Cowdell es amable, es estricto y servicial. Okay, how did I describe Mr. Cowdell? I'm going to do another one as well. Señora Steer, Mrs. Steer, Señora Steer es servicial, simpática y estricta. Servicial, simpática y estricta. How did I describe Mrs. Steer? Now it's your turn. Give it a shot. If you can, see if we can push it a bit further. So on this one, I've got me gusta señorita Walker porque es amable y inteligente. I like Miss Walker, because she is kind, friendly, and intelligent. See if you can add in some opinions to these people. Me encanta señora Frost porque es generosa. Give it a shot. So we're coming to the end of our session, and I know it's tricky over virtual to really understand the lesson, but hopefully it's given you a little snippet of what we might be doing. As I said, in languages, we do lots of vocab to practice and practice and practice. We play games, we have reading, writing, listening and speaking tasks, and you'll get a different experience with Mr. Kilcoyne, Miss Fernandez and myself. We hope that you are looking forward to languages. I know it can be a little bit daunting starting a new language, but actually it's going to be really exciting and something new for you to do. You'll have 2 lessons of languages a week and everyone will be doing Spanish. As you may remember, some of you, from the open days, the top set will also start French as well. So let's have a look at what I said that we were going to achieve from the beginning. So I said that we were going to talk about different teachers. We've done that. We've had a look at some basic topic vocabulary. We've done that. Hopefully you've had fun. I mean, as I said, I know it's tricky over virtual, but hopefully you've got a bit of a taster of what a Spanish lesson might seem like. We've had a look at English cognates. Now, English cognates are words that look like English, but they're in Spanish. So generoso, generous, looks a bit like it. That's an English cognate. Hopefully you've had the opportunity to describe different teachers. Now, I've asked you to pause it and stop it so that you can do different tasks. But if you feel that you've just watched through it and you want to go back to it, give it a go. Remember, practice makes perfect. And then on the last slide, we had a look at expanding with an opinion. So using me encanta, me gusta, no me gusta, odio. Hopefully, quick tutorial. Hopefully you recognise my face come September. And then you've got a friendly face to be looking out for. If you've got any questions, please drop us an email, l.frost@wottonparkschool.org.uk, and I'm there to help you. Adios.